they are a shoot-first type of mentality. They average 98 points per game. They shoot very well from the floor at 54%, rounding up, of course, and 40% from the three-point line, and then just 68% from the free throw line. Now, in comparison to Coffeyville, those numbers are very similar, except for the points per game. They average less points per game, though the thing that Coffeyville's got over a lot of people right now is the points that they allow. They only allow 60 points per game in comparison to 70 that Barton gives up every single game. Barton coming off of a big win against Cowley College. And that was one thing that I had with Hutchinson last week as Matt Dick joins me, a sophomore here with Coffeyville Community College. Last week, Matt, I'll tell you what, Hutchinson came into this game. They were 10-0. They averaged 101 points a game. We played them last year in the Region 6 championship in order to win the Region 6. I was kind of worried about them, but at the same time, I really wasn't because they hadn't played a tough road game yet. And Barton was the same way until Cowley this last weekend, and they played Cowley very well. They beat Cowley by a matter of at least 15 points, I believe. We'll look at it. 85-61 was the score. That was the one thing I was worried about. So they've got that first tough road win off the schedule here. We'll see. Do they look more comfortable tonight?
One thing that you got to look at for both of these teams is they are crazy athletic. On one side, you got Marvin Johnson. He is just a beast. He averages 15 points a game. You know this guy's going to drive in the lane, try to dunk on your head every time he goes down. You also got Anthony Jones, crazy athletic, also can knock down the three. And Trevin Brewer, also a great scorer, averages in double figures on points, and always does good every night on the court. He is the player of the week for the Ravens.
Yeah, week 5. He pulled up a big spot and earned that spot. He did. So I'll tell you what, Tevin Brewer is a good one as well. We'll take a brief step aside when we come back. We'll take a quick 2-minute break to respect the anthem. When we come back, we'll have those starting 5 here on 98.1.
Patriot Chevrolet, Bartlesville.
Introducing the grand opening of Patriot Chevrolet of Bartlesville, bringing you a new way to buy a Chevrolet. From price to selection to engines for life, Patriot Chevrolet in Bartlesville wants to be your dealer. Only Patriot Chevrolet in Bartlesville will discount new 2018 Silverado trucks $12,000 off MSRP. That's $12,000 off new Silverado 1500 trucks.
Patriot Chevrolet, Bartlesville.
Patriot will discount the ever-popular 2018 Chevrolet Equinox $6,200. That's $6,200 off new 2018 Equinoxes. And you're home to the $13,900 2018 Cruze. And at Patriot Chevrolet, your new vehicle comes with engines for life. Patriot Chevrolet, Southeast Adams Boulevard, Bartlesville, or online at bartlesvillechevy.com.
Patriot Chevrolet, Bartlesville.
Chevrolet, find new roads. Silverado stock 180146, MSRP 43405, Equinox 190141, MSRP 28095, Cruze 180150.
Oh, no.
What's wrong?
I'm trying to take care of my banking and the internet's down.
So what's the problem? Just give Dana a call at Community State Bank and she'll take care of it in person.
I don't bank at Community State Bank. It's an online bank. My bank's not just down the street. It's in... Well, I'm not really sure where it's at.
Wow, I wouldn't bank anywhere but Community State Bank. They have great online and mobile banking services, so I still do most of my banking online. But when I need it, it's sure great to talk to somebody I know face-to-face.
Hi, this is Dana from Community State Bank. We offer all the convenience along with the services you want and need, and even throw in a friendly face to help you personally when you need it. Community State Bank, Coffeyville's only locally owned and operated bank.
Welcome back here on 98.1 KUSN. I'm Sam Speck alongside Matt Dick. We got Nathan Ray back in the studios. It is 98.1 KUSN. We're in partnership tonight with CCC Television. If you'd like to watch live as well as you listen live, you can go onto our website at kggfradio.com underneath the sports tab, and you'll find CCC Television. Let's get ready for basketball as it is just about time. We had mentioned another top 10 matchup. This is the third top 15 national matchup that we posted here on Jay Herkelman Court. We had Indian Hills a few weeks ago. We had Hutchinson last week, and today we've got the Barton Cougars. Now, Barton, in difference with Indian Hills, a team that comes out of Iowa, Barton is a team that comes right out of the Jayhawk Conference. They're in that western side of the Jayhawk Conference, but I'll tell you what, they are just as good. They find themselves over on the side with Hutchinson. They're going to be a good challenge for Hutchinson, and they're going to be a good challenge for the Cougars, or for the Ravens tonight. So we'll be interested to see how the Red Ravens respond, though last week against Hutchinson, you'll be happy to hear this, Matt, a top 10 matchup that Coffeyville only gave up one lead, had control of the game of at least a 5-point lead throughout the majority of the game. So I'll tell you what, in terms of comparison from Hutch, feeling a little bit confident coming into tonight's ball game, but at the same time, Barton, as I mentioned in the pregame show, is coming off a good road win. That was one thing that Hutch didn't have.
And that's so true. The Barton Cougars 10-0, 9 in the country right now, and they're led by their 4 sophomores. Of course, Leandre Washington, Elijah Ford, Devontae Caldwell, and Anthony Atkins. All of them average over double digits, almost 15 points a game. So that's over half their scoring load right now. So they're doing a great job. And let's just see, this is going to be a very hard test for the Ravens. They have had a tough schedule so far at the beginning of this year. Let's see if they can pull out another good win.
Yeah, you had mentioned, they're starting 5. 4 of those players are averaging in the double digits. That's the difference is CCC. We'll see how those match up. Can the depth of CCC's bench, because I've never really seen it more than really here and in rec leagues, because you don't really see it that often with that strength of depth. But Jay Herkelman is a coach that will send 5 players out there for 5-6 minutes and completely substitute all 5 of them out. I haven't seen it very often, but that just speaks of true depth to the team, as he is just as confident with his players on the bench as he is with the starting 5 out there on the floor. So with that, that'll be interesting. So when those 4 players for Barton get off the floor, can they produce enough points against CCC? That will be the big difference maker tonight. We'll see if they can make a difference, as it's time now that we go ahead and look at your starting 5 for both sides, as we'll start with Barton. We'll start with number 3, DeAndre Washington, a 6-foot sophomore out of Englewood, New Jersey, as well as number 11, Devontae Caldwell, 6-foot freshman as well in the starting 5. You got Maverick Gilliard in there as well, number 24. He'll be taking the tip. Martin Votes at guard as well, a 6'2" freshman out of St. George, Kansas, in there, and then rounding him out at Akeem White, number 23, a 6'6" sophomore. So some size out there, but Coffeyville with a clear size advantage with their starting 5 that they have chosen tonight. Tevin Brewer, who again we had mentioned in the pregame, got the nod for week number 5 player of the week. He's out there back, most likely doing a point guard position tonight. Marvin Johnson in the starting 5 as well. Quan Marshall back out there. One thing that you'll see tonight, Matt, Quan Marshall and Tevin Brewer work like clockwork. They are so good together. They will be out on the floor almost every time together. Keon Queen, number 15, he'll be taking the tip tonight, and then rounding out the starting 5 is number 25, Nickel Murray. Let's get ready for basketball. It's 98.1 KUSN. Red Ravens back on the hardwood tonight. It's Barton Community College Cougars. Red Ravens. Here it is. Keon Queen going up against Gilliard for the tip. Red Ravens in their all-white home uniforms moving from left to right. Barton in their all-blue road uniforms, and the tip goes to Tevin Brewer. CCC comes away with the first tip. We got 20 minutes up on the clock, and the first half is underway. Tevin Brewer finds now Marshall down low. Great pass to Murray. Murray, the reverse, up and in. And with the right hand, Nickel Murray gets them on the board very quickly, and that full-court press already put on by CCC. 2-1-2 now kind of shying off, almost like a little bit of a bluff there with the full court press. Not too easy to break there, or not too hard to break there for the Cougars as they bring it up. Here's White. He drives into the paint down low, and no good as he muscles his way. Tevin Brewer gets the rebound off the miss. Very quickly, he comes up with the left hand and draws the foul. Tevin Brewer doing a great job at showing that speed right there.
And you know what that speed reminds me of? Someone they had last year, T.J. Washington.
Yes, it was.
Now at a Division I school. And Tevin Brewer filling in that spot perfectly right now. As you can tell, already a favorite to win KJCC Player of the Year.
Yeah, you would have, and still at right now, Casey Benton kind of that person to kind of step up into the shoes that T.J. Washington was. But Tevin Brewer played in northeastern Oklahoma last year. He knows this conference, and he knows how to score. Up by 2. Quan Marshall gets the pass here from Brewer. Now he looks down low. That's Keon Queen forced into a double team. 5 on the shot clock. Finds Brewer from 40 feet for 3, and Tevin Brewer on the board. They're up by 5.
And he's showing you that range, and he's got it for days. The little guy making the shot look easy.
Yes, he does, and he wants another player of the week. He wants it for week number 6 as well. Here's Barton in response. That's Washington. Brings it up with the right hand, pushed into a double team, has to pick up that dribble. Now he finds White. White hands it off to, Votes. Votes now back up on top. He finds Gildyard. Gildyard to White. He drives right hand off the glass. Great defense down low. That's Keon Queen allowing 0 penetration, and Marvin Johnson steps on the sideline. So an unfortunate break there for CCC. You just got to be a little bit more aware, and I'll tell you what, Marvin Johnson usually is aware. Just kind of a brain fart right there, we'll call it, but we'll see him tonight throw down a couple of dunks. It's always exciting to see Marvin Johnson, the one trying to get those slams down.
And that's so true. You can tell he's matured since last year. He was kind of a streaky freshman last year, but this year you can see he's fit into that role of a leader and willing this team to a 9-1 start, 4th in the nation, of course, for your Red Ravens.
He really has, and way too much contact down low by Barton, so they have struggled even just to get a shot off. The foul will be their second team, the first one coming against Votes, and Coffeyville gets it right back after the turnover. So 2 minutes into this one, and they're up by 5, and a foul down low on the low block. I believe that one coming against number 23, Akeem White, and it is. So White called for the foul against Keon Queen. You'd mentioned maturity from year to year. Keon Queen is another one of those players. Last year, it seemed like he had something to say about every call that the officials made. This year, he just kind of keeps to himself, goes out there, gets the rebounds that he needs. They don't utilize him as much as they are a shoot-first kind of team as Marvin Johnson with the basketball in the corner. He drives left hand, almost taken away from him. Kicks it out to Brewer. Brewer now drives up and in on the floater. Tevin Brewer looks good early on.
And that's true. Great job by Marvin Johnson to grab that rebound and find Tevin Brewer. Easy layup, up by 7 early in this game.
One heck of a way to start the ball game. 17:40 to go in the first half. Here comes the Cougars. That's Washington. Drives with the left hand, and he's fouled on his way into the paint. And I believe that one coming on Marshall. And that is Quan Marshall called with his first personal foul and the team's first foul as well. You got to keep that number down as they have struggled all year long really to stay off of the foul chart. And in close quartered games, that could really come back to hurt you.
And that's so true. But right now you're seeing them being pretty disciplined at the beginning of this game. Barton already has 3, though.
Yes, they do. As Votes, not Votes, that's Caldwell on the inbounds. Caldwell now finds Gildyard right back to the lefty. He wants a 3. That's no good. And off the miss, Murray comes away with the rebound. Murray to Marshall. And Marshall brings it up with the right hand. He'll get it up over to Johnson. Johnson pull up for 3. No good off the back of the iron. That's a brick. Had no bounce to it. And here comes Barton. Barton in response. That's Washington with the right hand. Queen wanted to take away. Instead, Barton finds the corner jumper for 3. Gildyard, that's no good. And Johnson tried to get the rebound. Instead, that one hits off of Barton and goes out of bounds. And still, they'll get the hometown fall right there. But Johnson just slipped out of his fingers on the rebound there. You'd like to see him secure that as we go throughout the game. Up by 7, here's Tevin Brewer. Brewer now to Murray. Murray to Marshall. Marshall up on top to that leader, Marvin Johnson. Now right back to him. Johnson, pull-up jumper from 20 feet. That's no good. Great rebound and the giveaway to Brewer for 3. And Marvin Johnson, the offensive rebound and the pass while he was in the air, finds Tevin Brewer. They go up by 10. We'll take a 30-second timeout ourselves. Timeout on the floor. Coffeyville up by 10 with 16:40 to go. Back in 30 on 98.1.
Helping you move forward. That's what Coffeyville Community College does. Whether you want to increase your ability to advance at work, learning to earn a 2-year, or just want to expand your horizons, Coffeyville Community College can help. And CCC is flexible, offering a traditional college setting. Fast 8-week classes or even online classes. CCC can meet your needs your way. Call CCC at 620-251-7700 or visit them online at coffeyville.edu. We are Coffeyville Community College.
And welcome back live from J. Hokelman Courts here in Ellis Hall. I'm Sam Speck on 98.1 KUSN. I'm alongside sophomore with Coffeyville Community College. It's Matt Dick doing the illustrating tonight, Matt. We've enjoyed a couple of good competitions, though, right now through the first 3 minutes, 20 seconds, Coffeyville in complete control.
And you've seen Tevin Brewer, the KJCCC Player of the Week, take over this game. He has 2 for 2 from deep, athletic layups, very fast. And you've also seen Marvin Johnson crashing the board, finding Tevin Brewer wide open, and making this game looking like a runaway right now.
Yes, it is, as they've got their same starting five out there. That's Brewer, Murray, Keon Queen, Quan Marshall, and Marvin Johnson out on the floor as Barton will bring it up. They'll bring it up now. The point guard wants to pull up jumper, and Tevin Brewer called for the foul. And that, I'll tell you what, they've done a great job through the first 4 minutes managing those fouls. On an open jumper like that, kind of questionable to think that a whistle to be blown there. Maybe questionable on the call. Tevin Brewer still arguing with it, but they're going to send number 3, Leandre Washington, to the line for 2 shots. We'll see. This is the first trip tonight that we've seen. First one up is knocked down. Again, this team is very similar to Coffeyville from the free throw line. As a team, they shoot 68% from the free throw line.
And Washington, of course, shoots 74%, almost 75%. Does a great job from the line. He's also one of the leaders and finally scratches the scoreboard.
Yes, he does, as he knocks both of them down. 10-2 is our score after the 2 free throws. Barton now with that half-court press, trying to push Brewer into a double team. Instead, he breaks it pretty easily. Though it does waste 15 seconds off the clock. Now he looks left to Johnson. Johnson pull-up jumper, and maybe too much of a contested shot there for Johnson. That's a missed shot. Barton gets the rebound. They come up down by 8. The left hand, looked like 5 steps was taken. Instead, he makes his way to the paint. No good on the layup. And CCC comes away with a rebound. And down low, wide open to Queen, and Queen, that looked like the ball was laced in butter. And it just flies up. I'm not sure what happened there. Slips out of his hands, goes out of bounds. So Barton gets it right back. In response, up, and it's blocked. No, they're going to say goaltending, I believe.
And sometimes, you just have mishaps. Let's see if he can relax a little bit and come back from that. It's okay. You're still up by 6. You just had a mishap, Sometimes you got to think a little bit more, do a little better. You can see him constantly wiping his pants. Keon Queen, maybe he just needs to wash his hands. I don't know. Maybe he has something on there.
Maybe a little sweating, then comes down. It was a questionable call. Great pass to Murray. Murray up and in, and a great job using the big men out there right now. They're utilizing their size, and they're doing it very quickly. That wasted 5 seconds off the shot clock before they got that shot away. But again, at 6'6" is Johnson. Mikel Murray out there at 6'7", and then 6'9" is Keon Queen. They are using the size to their advantage down low. As Barton now will swing it around, still down by 8. Here's the Cougars. Thought about a 3 up on top. Now he takes a deep 2, just steps inside, and he knocks it down. That's Leandre Washington. He's dangerous, and he makes it look easy. 12-6 after the 2-point shot. Here's Johnson now. In response, transition. Johnson finds a wide open area for 3, and he knocks it down. 15-6 after the tray.
And Johnson finally cracks the scoreboard after going goose eggs in the first couple minutes. He did have 3 assists so far, 2 rebounds, and scratches the surface with 3 points. What a great start for the sophomore leader.
Yes, he did. And a little bit of a rookie mistake there, freshman mistake, if you will. The pass from the freshman, he tried to get a full-court pass. Instead, he throws it over everybody's head as Barton turns the ball over once again. As now we wait for some substitution as well as a lace to be tied on his shoe there. So CCC back with the possession of the basketball. Murray inbounds it to Tevin Brewer. Great move by Brewer. Gets it up over half to Johnson. Johnson back to Brewer. Brewer back to Johnson. He thought about the 3. Instead, he drives with the right hand. Nice kick to Queen, though. That one's tipped away and out of his hands. Great takeaway. Here comes Barton. They've got numbers against him, though. Up and in somehow with a right-hand hook shot. Did he get that one to go up and in? That was Briante Hunt getting the shot. Now Brewer in response. He goes up. That's no good, though. Keon Queen with the tip in, and he puts it 17-8.
And Keon Queen got those hands clean and tips it back in.
I'll tell you what. He wiped it off or something like that, but that looked clean right there as we've got 4 fresh legs to the substitution table. Normally 5. Instead, we'll just go with 4 down low. That pass stepped in front of Mikel Murray with a steal. Nicely done. So CCC's defense creating some chances here. Down to Marvin Johnson. Thought about a 3. Now he takes that 3 and he knocks it down with a hand in his face. And Marvin Johnson, he's starting to get hot. That's going to be dangerous, though. It looks like he's going to make his way to the sideline with a substitution. 13:58. They're up by 12. 20-8 here in this ball game.
And they have done a great job striking early and fast in the shot clock. The Barton defense looks lost and confused right now. Quick, crisp passes, and Marvin Johnson making the step-back 3 look easy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he had a defender on him, thought about a 3-point shot, put it down. I thought he was going to drive and then pulled up for a second when he knocks it down right in front of the defender. And CCC, after the takeaway, will get the basketball right back with Tevin Brewer. from his own baseline. Coffeyville moving from left to right for these first 20 minutes. They're in their all-white home uniforms. And then, as we had spoken before, Barton in their all-blue, moving from right to left. The inbounds to Benton finds Brewer. Again, there's fresh 4 legs out there. Besides Tevin Brewer, there are all fresh legs. Now Tevin Brewer gets the basketball. Nice pass down low. That's Thompson up, no good. Webster. And Webster on the miss there. That will find his way to the free throw line, I believe, to the baseline. So it's a foul on the floor, so we'll have another toss-in with Tevin Brewer from the baseline. But A.J. Webster in on the game. Anthony Jones, Manny Crump, and then Casey Benton in the game as well. The inbound finds Brewer. He drives up, and no good. Somehow that one didn't find the bottom of the net, but an offensive rebound by Webster. And the second chance goes to Coffeyville, 22-8 after the made basket. Here's Barton now in transition. Then that one goes into the bench. And a bad pass after the full court press shows some pressure there, and Coffeyville gets it right back.
And right now, Barton just looks lost. Coffeyville striking hard and fast, playing physical, down low, even on offense, getting those offensive boards, and an easy 2 points for Webster. And a great job by them letting the press not get to Barton too bad and able to use the press to their advantage.
Yeah, it seems like Barton is an up-tempo kind of basketball team as Jones gets the basketball here for CCC. He drives, and he's going to be called for the charge. Great job down low by Barton as he just kept his feet set. That's Dallas Brighton getting the charge called against Anthony Jones. That's Jones's first personal foul. But, you had mentioned it. I'll tell you what, Coffeyville doing pretty much a good job on all levels right now, offensive and defensive rebounding. That's one thing that they've struggled on all year long is to get themselves second-chance opportunities and then to take away those opportunities from teams. They're doing a great job here tonight. Barton usually seems like a kind of a balanced team. They like to run, and they also like to slow things down. Right now, you're right, they look lost. They are forcing themselves into fast-paced offensive styles, and they're making mistakes. They're turning the ball over, and right now they're down big, 22-8. And the inbounds here for Barton finds an open 3. That's no good. Offensive rebound, though. That one's up, draws the foul, and Andrews will head to the free throw line for a pair of shots after the missed basket.
And Manny Crump, had his hands up arguing with the refs, but that was a clear foul. Sends Terrell Andrews to the line. He's doing a great job. He doesn't play that much, but his presence off the bench as a sophomore just gives a calming effect to this Cougars offense.
Yes, it does. The first one up off the front of the rim and rolls around and finds the bottom of the net, so that makes it now 22-9. The coaches always say aim for the front of the rim because if you hit the front of the rim, there's still a good % chance it goes up, hits the backboard, finds its way in. He does that right there. And then he makes the second one, no problem. 2 of 2 from the free throw line that time. He makes it a 12-point game as the inbounds here to Casey Benton for CCC. Finds a fast break, the 3-on-2. Tried to slam it over the defense, and another charge is called. And that one, again, Dallas Bryson doing a good job keeping his feet planted, but Casey Benton with a little smile on his face, and I'm sure he'll find his way to the sideline after that one. Kind of a clown decision, but would have paid off if he made it, no doubt about.
Definitely would have been on my ESPN top 10 if that would have been.
I was about ready to do the jingle, but instead it's the miss, and he'll make his way to the sideline. Tony Hudson out there in his place. Hudson's got a pretty good shot from beyond the three-point line. Speaking of three, Barton wants one. That's no good off the hands of Washington. And very quickly in the shot clock, they give it right back up to the Red Ravens. Though Jones, he gives it back up. Barton on the steal. And on the fast break, that's Andrews up and in. And an easy layup. Finds him down by 10 now as CCC just gave it up again. Way too quick there. We mentioned that a lot in the women's game. You got to slow things down on the fast break. Jones gives it up way too easily. 2 points as here comes CCC. Hudson wants his first three of the game, and there it is. Tony Hudson puts him back up by 13.
And right now, you're just seeing, the Barton defenders not getting on these wide open threes, not getting in the defender's hip pocket, not doing anything right now to stop this barrage of threes.
As here comes the point guard, Votes. Votes now will look to the right side. That's Washington. Washington with a left-hand dribble. He tried to drive, gate penetration defense. Now he finds his way into the paint. He missed on that try, but an offensive rebound goes to Barton here, and a lot of physicality and muscle down low. That will result in a jump ball. I believe the possession arrow is with Barton. So CCC will give it right back up there. But Dallas Bryson, a freshman off the bench, he's been very disruptive against CCC tonight. And
he's doing a great job just being physical down low, trying to stop these big and tall Red Ravens down low, and he's actually doing a pretty good job tonight.
Yes, he is. He's that one right there, keeping the possession with Barton. He's forced a couple of turnovers tonight. Cougars trying to get the inbounds. They do. Finds their point guy. A forced shot by Boats as time expires on the shot clock. Though an offensive rebound goes right to Caldwell, and that one's up and in. Caldwell, just an easy shot. And as we had mentioned, doing a great job avoiding second chance opportunities to the other team. That's an easy one for Barton, now down by 11, 25-14. Here's Brewer now in response. Brewer draws the foul on his way into the paint. Great job as he makes his way. So I believe Brewer to the free throw line for 2.
And Brewer right now, 96% from free throw from the line. He is doing a great job this year. I mean, almost perfection right now. So, more often than not, it's going to go down, especially in key situations right now. Barton kind of striking back, but with these free throws, Coffeyville can gain some momentum back.
Yeah, and he knocks down the first one there. A high percentage free throw shooter. Here is Tevin Brewer. He's one heck of a ball player. Again, he's a transfer student. He's a sophomore. He's played in this division. He's played with against a lot of these opponents that CCC has, so he knows the teams as he knocks down the second one. But he's really starting to get into it. Last year, he averaged 28 points per game. This year, last Sunday was his first time up over 28 as he earned himself a KJCAA Player of the Week offensively with that 30 points. As Barton brings the basketball down, I believe that foul, too much contact on Tony Hudson as CCC is called for another foul there. I believe that will put Barton in the bonus, if not very close to it, and it does. So just 9 minutes through this first half, and Coffeyville already with 17 fouls. That's the first one for Tony Hudson as Tevin Brewer finds his way to the sideline. That's his first break of the night, so he almost goes a full 9 minutes of playtime.
And Tevin Brewer, okay, maybe not a lot of people know this, only 5'8". That's 2 inches shorter than me. And he's out there balling on guys.
He is.
Looking like he could go to the pros right now. Doing a great job and, helping this Red Ravens team to a lot of wins so far.
Certainly looking like Division I. Speaking of that, here's Marvin Johnson. He thought about a three, cools it down a bit as he misses it off the side of the iron. Barton now in transition off of the miss. That's no good, and looked like 2 Red Raven players there were battling for the rebound, and it pays against them as it goes off of Manny Crump and out of bounds. So Barton will hang on to the possession, down by 13, 27-14, 10:55 to go in the first half.
And right now, Barton's doing a good job trying to slow down and make it a slower pace so they can try to get the bottom of this basket. Here's another 3 and an air ball.
And that one's no good, as you had mentioned, by Barton. And the miss there, that one is going to hand into the hands of CCC, though it's tipped out of bounds off of Barton and goes out. So CCC will get it right back. 10:45 to go in the first half. We are just about a minute away from our media timeout as Webster makes his way to the sideline. Manny Crump, Quan Marshall, Marvin Johnson, Tony Hudson, and Keon Queen are your file on the floor right now for the Red Ravens. Manny Crump inbounds it to Quan Marshall. Marshall and Tony Hudson out there for your guards. Normally Brewer and Marshall are the two that will bring it up, and then Benton and Hudson play well together, though Marshall found Hudson. Hudson now to Crump. He gets left side baseline up off the glass. No good. Keon Queen on the second chance. That's no good. Manny Crump gets the rebound, tips it out to Hudson, and Hudson it will be fouled. So Hudson does a good job there drawing the foul, and that, I believe, Manny Crump drawing the foul, so that will send Crump to the free throw line. That's the second personal foul against John Williams there. And that is the 6th team foul. And that will put them 1 away from the bonus here. Again, we are just halfway through this first half. Both these teams right at the bonus as Manny Crump knocks down the first end of the 1-and-1.
And Manny Crump doing a pretty good job from the line this year, 71%. So you always can rely on him, a very steady hand, and also a very good player for this Red Ravens team.
He just got to get to that free throw line a little bit more consistently, as unfortunately the second one is no good. That one hits around the rim a few times and comes out. So 14 points is the deficit here for Barton as they bring it up 28-14, and a foul called on Marvin Johnson. They're going to say he stuck his leg out, created too much contact there. That will send Barton to the free throw line, and now this first half slows way down as we find ourselves in the bonus and double bonus. Each foul, regardless if it's on the offensive or defensive side, will send the teams to the free throw line as Tevin Brewer finds his way back in. What was that, a 80-second break on the sideline there? Brewer finds his way back in after just over a minute of break.
And I feel like the reason why Herkelman brought him back in is because right now, Ravens' offense is at a standstill. You got to bring your star player back out to build some momentum back.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe get a little bit more momentum for the next 5 minutes, take him out, and then have him get well rested for those last 5 minutes into halftime as well. The rebound after the missed free throw is a foul on the rebound. So from one free throw line to the next, we head down. Manny Crump will shoot a 1-and-1 as Coffeyville officially moves into the bonus now. 17 fouls against Barton. As I had mentioned, it is going to slow way down here, especially with these foul numbers being where they're at. Coffeyville has struggled with that, and now Barton getting those numbers up there as well. Knocks down the first end of the 1-and-1, 29-24. Puts them back up by 15, 10-18 to go here in the first half as Crump does the routine, dribbles a couple times, throws it up and knocks it down as it's now 16 points. 30-14, and that full court press put on, and Tony Hudson knocks it out of bounds. Good job there to disrupt on the inbounds play, and they will shade him off now. So the full court press is now moved back into half court man-to-man.
And like you said, both of these defenses fouling a lot, both in the double bonus right now. So both of these offenses are high octane, very fast. Right now, they're slowing it down. And there's another foul on Quan Marshall.
Quan Marshall called for the foul, so there is number 9. I'm not sure exactly what the message is today. I know physical defense is a must, but this is getting kind of ridiculous. It's 16 combined fouls between the two teams in under 10 minutes. It's out of hand at this point as the first end of the 1-and-1 is up and knocked down. Nicely done there. That's Tyrell Andrews, the 6'1" sophomore out of Wichita, Kansas. As I'll tell you what, Barton has a couple of Kansas natives, but mostly they have gone out of state to get their teams. Ever since a few years ago, as the second one from Barton, a few years ago, they took away that limit where I believe it was 5 players out of state that you could have on your team. Now you can have as many as you'd like. As the second one was up and knocked down, so 16 points is what separates them. 10:05 to go here in the first half of play. Tevin Brewer will bring it up for CCC. He's got it with the right-hand dribble. Now he finds Quan Marshall. They work very well together. Marshall back to Brewer with the right hand and a foul. I believe that one coming against Keon Queen, and Queen called for the foul on the screen play. That one right there, I think, is just a trigger-happy referee. That was no contact whatsoever. There is the media timeout we've been waiting for. We'll take a 60-second timeout ourselves here on 98.1 KUSN.
A celebration is in order every time CCC comes to play, and you can trust Gillum Liquor to back it up with an endless cooler filled with your favorite pick of ice-cold beer, or choose something from the vast wine selection to help you relax and wind down after an exhilarating CCC game. Whatever your pleasure, Gillum Liquor is always in for the win. Gillum Liquor, 1713 West 8th Street in Coffeyville.
Ho, 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 it's Alamosa Amy here, letting everyone know Lay's Archery and Guns is having a closeout sale. Closeout sale on all 2017 bows with 25% off through November. Hurry before they're gone. Lay's Archery and Guns also has a great selection on Case brand knives. Case knives make the perfect stocking stuffer for any stocking you have to stuff. Christmas shop in the country at Lay's Archery and Guns, west of Coffeyville on County Road 1250. Lay's Archery and Guns wishes you happy holidays.
Welcome back as we find ourselves out of the media timeout. Coffeyville up by 14. It's 30-16 here in the first half of play. The first 5 minutes were explosive. I swear all of the scoring were in that first 5 minutes. These last 5 minutes, it's slowed down. Foul numbers have increased. Lots of foul shots. Little time has passed. And now we are halfway through the first half, and it is 30-16 on the scoreboard. Barton in the possession with Leandre Washington. He brings it up, moving from right to left, hands it off to White. White now into the corner, right in front of us to Williams. Williams trying to go back up on top. Now he does to Washington. Washington from center circle will reset it here for Barton. Back up on top, he finds Gildyard. Gildyard drives, left hand up high off the glass and in, and a great job there by the big man to find 2 points. Now just down by 12. Here's Brewer now. He'll bring it up as Mikkel Murray makes his way back to the subs table. Brewer up on top. 10 seconds off that shot clock as he looks right. Now down low to the low block from Johnson to Queen. Queen with the left hand. That's no good. Trying to get his own rebound and comes up unsuccessful. So Barton brings the basketball down. Leandre Washington with the possession. Hands it off. Or actually hangs on to it. Now he drives. Now he hands it off. Looks into this near side corner. He finds Williams. Williams down low to the low block. Muscles his way, but Manny Crump on the block. Manny Crump denies that one. CCC comes away with the basketball. Finds Brewer. The point guard Brewer now to Johnson. Johnson drives right hand to the baseline. Back up on top. Tevin Brewer now to Hudson. Hudson wants a three, and Tony Hudson knocked it down. 33-18 after the tray.
Tony Hudson does a great job from three. 53%. If you can hit over 35% of your threes, you're doing great. He's doing amazing this year, and another open three for him.
Barton wants a three in response. That's no good, and off of the rebound goes out of bounds off of Barton, and CCC gets it right back. You'd mentioned, 30% for three-point land. That's admirable. That's where you want to be. In fact, most NBA shooters, a good NBA shooter is about 40% from three-point land. If he's at that mark, why not give him the basketball anytime that he's beyond the three-point land? He knocked down his first one here tonight, his second one is basically his first 30 seconds out on the floor. He saw his first one, and he wants another one. This one from about 50 feet. Oh, my goodness. He was closer to half court than he was anything, and he knocks it down. Tony Hudson puts him up by 18.
And I believe the kids call that Steph Curry range right there.
That was, I'll tell you what, that was way out there. And it's not like it looked stressed either. It was a simple jump shot, and he knocked it down, 36-18. Barton now, they need to respond. Great pass with the response, up, and it's blocked. Great job by Marvin Johnson defensively. Here's Brewer. Brewer to Hudson. He wants another one. No good on the three. And Tony Hudson trying to get a quick, easy points there. Great passing here to Barton, and that one's up and in. And Leandre Washington finds the deuce after, again, two great passes there by Barton in the fast break.
And you finally see these offenses going back to their fast pace, less fouls. This is looking like a more fun ball game right now.
Yeah, and you also love to see the referees keeping the whistle in the pocket here after the missed shot by Johnson. Gets his own rebound, and he kicks it back out to Brewer. So a great hustle play there by Marvin Johnson to go get that one right back. 7:05 of the first half. Coffeyville up by 16. They look down low to Keon Queen, muscling his way on the low block, and he's called for the travel. So Keon Queen took one too many steps on his way to the low block. Again, not very happy with the call there. Keon Queen, normally last year, again, at these moments is where he would lose his cool. There, he just kind of brushed it off. He's still kind of talking with the coaches, but you could tell he has really improved on his attitude.
Yes, he has. And I remember calling some games last year where he got some technical fouls, took off his jersey, went out of the building, and now you see him kind of calm and collected. I mean, there are some moments when people will have a lapse of judgment, but right now he's doing a great job of just keeping cool and staying down low and being that defensive pressure that Coffeyville needs.
He is. Votes for Barton wants a three. That's no good. Off the back of the iron, bounces about 10 feet in the air and over the backboard. It goes out of bounds, so Coffeyville will get it right back after the missed basket. They're up by 16 still, as Keon Queen will inbound it here to Tevin Brewer. Again, CCC from left to right. Barton in their all-blue road uniform as they substitute Briante Hunt back into the ball game. 6'4" freshman out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Got a couple of players out of Milwaukee as well as him and Devontae Caldwell, a pair out of Wisconsin. Brewer brings it back up here for CCC. Kicks it over now to Marvin Johnson. Johnson to Hudson. Down low to Queen. Queen on the low block. Got the size advantage. Turns around. And no good. Gets his own rebound. That's no good on the second try. And you can tell he's starting to get in his head a little bit here. As here's Barton now in transition. Great pass. That one goes nowhere, but they find an open jumper from three. Washington, no good. Murray gets the rebound. And CCC, great defense to avoid that easy shot on the low block. Great job there. And now in response, here's Brewer. Brewer tried to get it to Queen, and they were on two different pages there. That pass goes out of bounds.
And right there you saw two great defensive sequences for Coffeyville and then a careless turnover. Let's see if Barton can finally build some momentum down by 16 with about 6 minutes left in this first half. Can they finally get a run to go?
That's one thing that they haven't been able to establish all game long is a run, or at least a sufficient, amount of times where they go down and Coffeyville doesn't score. So now driving, there's Hunt with the left hand. That's no good. Great defense. And here's Johnson now. Johnson kicks it to Hudson. Hudson up off the glass and in. I'm surprised he didn't get called with a foul there, too. Instead, he'll just take the two instead of the three-point opportunity. Puts it back up by 18.
And Marvin Johnson finding the open man, his 4th assist of the game. He's looking good right now.
He certainly is, as Barton will bring it back up. That's the Avante Caldwell. Nice pass down low to low block. Muscles his way in. That's Maverick Gilliard. Basically just throws everybody to the ground in toward the paint. If you're Barton, I would go ahead and look at that as maybe a theme to offensively to use. Now down by 16.
And that's so true. A freshman, very physical, and doesn't get very many minutes. 8 points a game, though, off the bench is very reliable. Maybe he can be the spark plug they need.
And Barton now off of the miss, comes down in transition. That one's no good off of Leandre Washington's hands. I believe on the rebound it will be called a jump ball. And the possession arrow is with CCC, I believe. So Mikhail Murray will throw it in for Coffeyville. Looks like we'd like a timeout on the floor. That's Jay Herkelman calling a timeout. We'll take another 30 seconds ourselves. Back in 30, Coffeyville up by 16. It's 38-22 here on 98.1 KUSN.
Keep it simple with great food at great prices. That's what you'll find at Simple Simon's Pizza in Coffeyville. Oh, yes, you'll find great pizza and a whole lot more, like calzones, wings, breadsticks, and sandwiches. Stop in today for a Coffeyville favorite, the Simple Simon's Lunch Buffet. Simple Simon's makes it easy for you to dine in, carry out, or delivery. Simple Simon's Pizza, 807 West 11th in Coffeyville. Simple Simon's, simply delicious.
Find ourselves 3/4 of the way through this first half. It's 38-22. We've seen this a couple times this year. Top 15 teams make their way in onto Jay Herkelman Court here in Nellis Hall, thinking that they're undefeated. They're going to show up the Red Ravens. It hasn't happened all year long. The only game that CCC has been challenged in was the game that they lost, and it was on the road at a tough destination down in Miami and northeastern Oklahoma A&M, where they lost that game. But Barton, number 9 in the country at 10-0. Right now, CCC with a clear handle on this game. They're up by 16, 38-22 with 4:50 to go in the first half. CCC also with the basketball from moving left to right. They get it down to Jackson Miller. He turns around on the jumper. That's no good. Trying to get his own rebound. Instead, Barton snags that one away from him. Now 3-on-3 in transition. Comes down. Somehow not called for a travel. And a bad pass from Barton either way. We'll send it back Coffeyville's way. But tell you what, there's a missed call. I've seen a couple of them on both ends, not necessarily only against Coffeyville.
And that's something that you have to point out. Just because they make a bad call on one side doesn't mean they can't make a bad call on the other. You got to keep that in mind. Refs are just like you and me. They make mistakes.
Certainly. You are very right there. And for tonight, they're doing a very good job. There for about 5 minutes or so in this quarter, they started getting a little trigger happy. Now they're really letting the guys play. And it looks like a little bit too much of a shove there by Tony Hudson. And Tony Hudson just kind of shoved off the defender there. Or actually, that's Jackson Miller called on the shove. So that's his first personal foul, the team's 10th. And that will result, I believe, in a throw-in from the far sideline over there.
It looks like they were trying to do the pick and pop with Tevin Brewer, but, Zach Miller just didn't get his screen set, and the foolish turnover by the Red Ravens.
And that foul coming off of the ball, so it will not result in any free throws as they are well into the double bonus. Barton does a great job getting it down low, up and in, and muscles his way to 2 points. There is Gilliard, and that makes it now 14 points between them. 38-24, Matt, as Brewer will bring this one down. Now kicks it into the corner to Hudson, down low to Crump. Crump, great way into the paint and up and in on the floater, 2 points.
And a great job by Crump. The turnaround hook shot, looking like Kareem out there. Great job by him. Easy points and an easy bucket.
And stolen away. Tevin Brewer takes with the takeaway. That one's no good on the reverse. And, you thought he would have gone up and tried to draw the foul. Instead, he tried to go up and under the basket on the reverse, and he misses the easy 2 points. 3:15 to go in the first 20 minutes of play. Coffeyville still up by double digits here on Barton. It has been a one-sided affair tonight. Barton trying to get back into this one. They try and drive the slam. That's no good. And a missed opportunity on the dunk there for the Cougars. How does CCC respond? With a 3 maybe? There's Hudson, and he knocks it down. Tony Hudson makes it 43-24. And a timeout on the floor as it looks like Barton wants a moment to talk with their team. They'll take a quick 30-second timeout. Back at 30, or excuse me, a full timeout on the floor. We'll be back here in 60 seconds for the final 3 minutes of the first half on 98.1 KUSN.
Oh, no.
What's wrong?
I'm trying to take care of my banking and the internet's down.
So what's the problem? Just give Dana a call at Community State Bank and she'll take care of it in person.
I don't bank at Community State Bank. It's an online bank. My bank's not just down the street. It's in, well, I'm not really sure where it's at.
Wow, I wouldn't bank anywhere but Community State Bank. They have great online and mobile banking services, so I still do most of my banking online. But when I need it, it's sure great to talk to somebody I know face to face.
Hi, this is Dana from Community State Bank. We offer all the convenience along with the services you want and need, and even throw in a friendly face to help you personally when you need it. Community State Bank, Coffeyville's only locally owned and operated bank.
When it comes to a time of loss, more folks around here trust and rely on the David W. Barnes Funeral Home. It could be because of their compassionate care. It could be because of their guaranteed superior service, or maybe because of their fair and honest prices, or just maybe for all of these reasons, more folks trust the David W. Barnes Funeral Home during a time of loss. The David W. Barnes Funeral Home at 306 North Klein in Coffeyville, an independent, family-owned business.
And welcome back out of the timeout. We got 2:58 to go here in the first half. Coffeyville up big. They have got a full handle on this game. 19 is what separates them, 43-24. The Red Ravens up on Barton Community College, the number 9 team in the nation. Keep that in mind. Barton wants a 3. That's no good. Side of the iron. They have struggled from the floor and the three-point line. Brewer now to Johnson. They got a 3-on-1. Johnson keeps it himself, and it's denied. Barton just steps in and throws that one into the padding behind. That's Hakeem White coming up big, and great job there by White to not give up on the play.
And Hakeem White actually averaged 1.3 blocks a game. So right there, got his one block, and that was a good one. Maybe that can turn the tides for the Cougars.
We will see. It does not give them possession back. And the inbounds find Johnson, and Johnson finds another 2 easy points there. So we'll see. The swat is definitely a good way to get momentum back, but unfortunately for him, it went out of bounds. So he gave it right back to the Red Ravens, and they scored some points off of it. Barton now will bring it up in transition, looking for a 3. That's no good off of the hands of White. Offensive rebound is no good on the second try, and here's now Johnson in response. Down to Crump. Crump's down low. He's double-teamed. Finds Murray. Murray up and in off the glass. And Mikkel Murray makes it 47-24. 2:05 to go in the first half. Another 30-second timeout taken, this time by Barton. We'll take another 30-second step aside. Back at 30, Coffeyville up big here in the first half.
Everyone looks forward to a good meal. That's why we do dining differently at Windsor Place. We call it 7 to 7 dining. Residents can come to the dining room anytime between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. for a home-cooked meal of their choice. 3 specials are available throughout the day, along with a full menu, including all-day breakfast. If residents need a treat between meals, they can visit our self-service snack pantries. Come see what makes Windsor Place different at mealtime. Call 620-252-4929.
Welcome back out of the timeout from Barton. Coffeyville continues their run. They're now up by 23. It's 47-24 through the first half of play. Matt, we had mentioned this in the pregame show. Barton knows how to score. CCC knows how to score. The big difference between them, CCC does a much better job of keeping teams off of the scoreboard.
And that's so true. You've seen the defense. You've seen the blocks. Up to 4 blocks already in this game. Great defensive pressure. That got them to foul trouble early, but they learned from their mistakes, and now not committing fouls, just making good defensive plays.
Yeah, and the transfer there finds too much contact against Barton. So CCC does a good job of drawing the foul there. That will result in a foul off of the ball and a turnover. That's the 8th team foul against Barton. Coffeyville up over 10, so they are in the double bonus well. But you had mentioned they got into foul trouble there a little while. I don't think they've had a foul in the last 4 or 5 minutes here. At least one that wasn't on the ball and resulted in a couple of free throws. Here's Johnson now after the inbounds. Johnson drives. Great move inside the paint, and he lost the basketball. And we saw that with Keon Queen. Just slipped right out of his hands and goes out of bounds.
And, he was just trying to do a little too much, trying to be a little too flashy. Just take it up, make it the easy layup, or even find the open guy down low. But, good job so far, Marvin Johnson staying under control.
And too physical there from Manny Crump. Manny Crump, again, you got to admire the just very close man-to-man defense. As we had mentioned, just the shot on the ball, foul on the ball. We see one here that will send number 3, Leandre Washington, to the free throw line for a pair of shots. Well into the double bonus is CCC. Washington's first one up. It's knocked down. A.J. Webster makes his way in for Manny Crump. Manny Crump with a pair of personal fouls. And again, well into the double-digit mark here is CCC. Once you get into that postseason mark, we've got a long season in front of us, but once you do hit that postseason mark, that's a number that they have to eliminate, is the amount of fouls. Because if you start playing teams that are similar in the caliber of competition that you are, you're not going to win games if you give up this many free throws. Speaking of one, CCC will head to the free throw line.
And that's so true. Great point right there. You know, you can't give up that many fouls. Already up to 10, 19 combined for both teams. So that's a lot of physical, careless defense. You know, you can't be too physical. You just got to find the happy medium to where you're still making good defensive plays without fouling.
Yeah, and Coffeyville's actually at 13. I'm not sure if it's the scoreboard here or selective-wise, but they stop it at 10. Maybe it's for the mercy of having to look at it. But I'll tell you what, they are at 13 and a combined 22 fouls between the two teams. The first one is knocked down there from Tevin Brewer, the first end of the 1-and-1. They're one foul away for being in the double bonus, but 95 seconds here in the first half. That really does not matter. 49-26, 90 seconds to go as Barton brings the basketball up. Here's the Cougars. They break that full court. That was a 2-1-2 full court press. And here's Washington now from center circle. Hands it off to Votes. Votes now over to his man Andrews. Andrews thought about getting it back to Votes. Now he does. Still beyond the three-point line. 10 on the shot clock. Now he drives straight away. Kicks it out. Finds Caldwell for three. The lefty on the bank shot. No good. And lots of contact on the rebound there. We had a couple of big guys kind of slam on the floor. That's the struggle sometimes. The higher that you go up, the longer that you have to fall. So, unfortunately, a hard fall for both players there, but a foul against Barton, I believe, will send Webster to the free throw line. If not, another Red Ravens heading to the free strike.
And Webster, a pretty good free throw shooter as well, 76% so far this year. He's a big man that can hit it from the line. You love that. Trying to kind of a stretch big, if you will. Can knock down some shots from the mid-range, but is mostly used for that down-low presence, as we just saw for the great rebound.
Yeah, you got to love the percentages where he's at, but as many players on this team, like Manny Crump is the first one knocked down. They get to 50 points here in this first half. He needs to get to the free throw line. That's half the battle, is getting to the free throw line, using your size and physicality to draw those fouls. Again, up over 70% from the free throw line, but if you don't find your way to the line, you can't hit those shots in the first place. Webster does a good job there off of the rebound, but that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the double bonus. So you've got to kind of force those fouls if you're on the offensive side. 70 seconds to go here in the first half. Coffeyville up big. They are up 25 points, I believe, 51-26. Not the best at math. It's not what they pay me to do, but 51-26 is our score. Now with under 60 seconds to go. Barton with the basketball. Caldwell, he'll send it off to Andrews right in front of us. Andrews now hands it to Washington, right on the Jay Herkelman court side. Washington drives now down low. Great pass. Turnaround. That's Johnson. Johnson heads up. And too much contact after the miss by Johnson. And I believe that will be a foul on Johnson. And a couple of more free throws coming up here for CCC. They'll take it.
And that's another good job by Murray down low, being physical, but not too physical, making the Barton defender out of position, not letting them box out, and getting that defensive board leading to the line.
Speaking of Murray, he'll head to the free throw line for a pair of shots. First one up is no good on the first end, but it is a 2 guaranteed shots due to the double bonus being in effect here. As again, Murray, from the free throw line, he's had his better days. As he knocks down the second one there, he's below the team average, which is 66%. But he does a great job of getting there, just as we saw an example right there. 35 seconds to go. Barton breaks this one easily, and they get through the full court press. No problem, and an easy layup up and in there from Devontae Caldwell. Makes it 52-28. As defensively for CCC, I think they're just trying to avoid silly fouls. As Johnson now will drive with the right hand. That one's into the paint. He draws the foul. Great job there from Johnson. Johnson does not hit the 2, but he'll head to the free throw line for 2.
And back to Caldwell. You saw his speed on display right there, cutting right through that press and an easy up and over layup. And then a great job by Johnson to drive through and get the easy foul right now. He's shooting just 65%, but, you know, he gets to the line pretty regularly. I bet he can get those percentages up as he goes along this year.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well, is people look at low percentages and they think it's a poor free throw shooter. Maybe someone's just been there hundreds of times. You're not going to make all of those, as the second free throw is up and no good. And a over-the-back foul, I believe, called against Murray, either that or Webster. But again, yeah, you're right. When it comes to a lot of shots from the free throw line, that percentage can potentially look very poor. But in reality, it's just because they put up a lot of shots. And that in and of itself speaks very, very well. Getting to the free throw line is, once again, we'll head there. It's been a long 10 minutes here to start off, or 20 minutes to start off this ball game, no doubt about. We had a tip-off of about 7:30, and we are coming up on 8:20 right now. So it's been a long first half of this ball game, as the first one up is knocked down there from Dallas Bryson.
And Bryson did a good job, you know, getting in the area where we've been praising the Ravens boxing out. He did a good job boxing out. And at the line, he's not doing the greatest, 65%, but like he said, he gets there pretty often.
Yes, he does, and he knocks them both down. Shot clock is dead, 15 on the game clock. This should do it for the first half of play. Is up by 23 is CCC. 53-30 is our score. Tevin Brewer drives. Nice dish, and he finds Mikael Murray with the slam. 2 on the game clock. A half-court shot put up by Barton. No good off the back of the iron. And that's going to do it for one half of play. They lead by 25. 55-30 after the first 20 minutes of play. We'll take an extended break coming up. When we come back after our first extended break, Matt and I will break down this first half. We'll take a look at the numbers a little bit more, statistically speaking, as well as give you keys to the second half. As Coffeyville, though, right now, I'll tell you what, the key to the second half, just keep playing how you did in that first half. 25 points is what separates them in this top 10 national matchup here on 98.1 KUSN. Again, we're in partnership with CCC Television all throughout tonight. You can catch that on our website at kggfradio.com. Again, that's Matt Digg right next to me. He's on the color tonight. Nathan Ray back in the studios. I'm Sam Speck. We'll take a 7-minute extended break. When we come back from our 7-minute extended break, again, Matt and I will break down this first half. We'll look at the numbers as well as give you keys to the second half. Coffeyville looking good, trying to bring in their 10th win on the year. Back in 7 minutes here on 98.1 KUSN.
Raven fans, coming into town for a game? Make it a great weekend. Reserve your room at Coffeyville Sleep-In and Suites, Coffeyville's premier home away from home. Enjoy plush, clean accommodations, a free continental breakfast, indoor pool, Wi-Fi, and superior staff and services. Ask about special AARP and military discounts. Coffeyville Sleep-In and Suites, a proud supporter of the Red Ravens.
Move forward. You can by becoming a part of the Acme Foundry team in Coffeyville. Acme Foundry has current openings for CNC machinists and entry-level foundry positions. Acme offers competitive wages, benefits including medical and dental, and a retirement plan through employee ownership. Acme moves careers forward by promoting from within. Find out more. Apply in person at Acme Foundry, 1502 South Spruce Street in Coffeyville. Acme Foundry, an equal opportunity employer.
Industrial strength for your home? You can get it at 4 State Maintenance Supply in Coffeyville. The same quality products the big companies use are available for retail sale at 4 State Maintenance Supply. From cleaning chemicals to paper products, even upright vacuums. A lot better than you'd find at the big box stores. They can last up to 10 years or longer, and they cost a lot less than you'd think. Run your house like a business, getting more value for your money. Shop 4 State Maintenance Supply on North Klein in Coffeyville.
Hey, Raven fans, coming into town for a game? Make it a great weekend. Reserve your room at Coffeyville Sleep-In and Suites, Coffeyville's premier home away from home. Enjoy plush, clean accommodations, a free continental breakfast, indoor pool, Wi-Fi, and superior staff and services. Ask about special AARP and military discounts. Coffeyville Sleep-In and Suites, a proud supporter of the Red Ravens. Helping you move forward. That's what Coffeyville Community College does. Whether you want to increase your ability to advance at work, learning to earn a 2-year, or just want to expand your horizons, Coffeyville Community College can help. And CCC is flexible, offering a traditional college setting, fast 8-week classes, or even online classes. CCC can meet your needs your way. Call CCC at 620-251-7700 or visit them online at coffeyville.edu. We are Coffeyville Community College.
A celebration is in order every time CCC comes to play, and you can trust Gillum Liquor to back it up with an endless cooler filled with your favorite pick of ice-cold beer, or choose something from the vast wine selection to help you relax and wind down after an exhilarating CCC game. Whatever your pleasure, Gillum Liquor is always in for the win. Gillum Liquor, 1713 West 8th Street in Coffeyville.
Ho, 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 it's Alamosa Amy here, letting everyone know Lay's Archery and Guns is having a closeout sale. Closeout sale on all 2017 bows with 25% off through November. Hurry before they're gone. Lay's Archery and Guns also has a great selection on Case brand knives. Case knives make the perfect stocking stuffer for any stocking you have to stuff. Christmas shop in the country at Lay's Archery and Guns, west of Coffeyville on County Road 1250. Lay's Archery and Guns wishes you happy holidays.
Oh, no.
What's wrong?
I'm trying to take care of my banking and the internet's down.
So what's the problem? Just give Dana a call at Community State Bank and she'll take care of it in person.
I don't bank at Community State Bank. It's an online bank. My bank's not just down the street. It's in... Well, I'm not really sure where it's at.
Wow, I wouldn't bank anywhere but Community State Bank. They have great online and mobile banking services, so I still do most of my banking online. But when I need it, it's sure great to talk to somebody I know face to face.
Hi, this is Dana from Community State Bank. We offer all the convenience along with the services you want and need, and even throw in a friendly face to help you personally when you need it. Community State Bank, Coffeyville's only locally owned and operated bank.
Keep it simple with great food at great prices. That's what you'll find at Simple Simon's Pizza in Coffeyville. Oh, yes, you'll find great pizza and a whole lot more, like calzones, wings, breadsticks, and sandwiches. Stop in today for a Coffeyville favorite, the Simple Simon's Lunch Buffet. Simple Simon's makes it easy for you to dine in, carry out, or delivery. Simple Simon's Pizza, 807 West 11th in Coffeyville. Simple Simon's, simply delicious.
When it comes to a time of loss, more folks around here trust and rely on the David W. Barnes Funeral Home. It could be because of their compassionate care. It could be because of their guaranteed superior service, or maybe because of their fair and honest prices, or just maybe for all of these reasons, more folks trust the David W. Barnes Funeral Home during a time of loss. The David W. Barnes Funeral Home at 306 North Klein in Coffeyville, an independent, family-owned business.
Everyone looks forward to a good meal. That's why we do dining differently at Windsor Place. We call it 7 to 7 dining. Residents can come to the dining room anytime between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. for a home-cooked meal of their choice. 3 specials are available throughout the day, along with a full menu, including all-day breakfast. If residents need a treat between meals, they can visit our self-service snack pantries. Come see what makes Windsor Place different at mealtime. Call 620-252-4929.
Move forward. You can by becoming a part of the Acme Foundry team in Coffeyville. Acme Foundry has current openings for CNC machinists and entry-level foundry positions. Acme offers competitive wages, benefits including medical and dental, and a retirement plan through employee ownership. Acme moves careers forward by promoting from within. Find out more. Apply in person at Acme Foundry, 1502 South Spruce Street in Coffeyville. Acme Foundry, an equal opportunity employer.
Industrial strength for your home? You can get it at 4 State Maintenance Supply in Coffeyville. The same quality products the big companies use are available for retail sale at 4 State Maintenance Supply. From cleaning chemicals to paper products, even upright vacuums. A lot better than you'd find at the big box stores. They can last up to 10 years or longer, and they cost a lot less than you'd think. Run your house like a business, getting more value for your money. Shop 4 State Maintenance Supply on North Klein in Coffeyville.
Raven fans, coming into town for a game? Make it a great weekend. Reserve your room at Coffeyville Sleep-In and Suites, Coffeyville's premier home away from home. Enjoy plush, clean accommodations, a free continental breakfast, indoor pool, Wi-Fi, and superior staff and services. Ask about special AARP and military discounts. Coffeyville Sleep-In and Suites, a proud supporter of the Red Ravens.
Welcome back and welcome in. It is halftime here on Jay Hokelman Court, live from Nellis Hall. I'm Sam Speck alongside Matt Dick. I'm struggling with the hiccups here, so I apologize if we go through and it sounds like I have taken a pause. That is just the struggle of the hiccup here. But we are at halftime. A full 20 minutes has passed us, and right now in a top 10 matchup, you think halftime would speak, a couple of points in between them. No, right now Coffeyville in full control of this game. They're by 25. It's 55-30. There has been 0 lead changes, and the highest points between them, 26 was the largest lead. Right now it's at 25. We'll go ahead and look at the numbers in terms of percentage-wise. We'll start with the number one and the most obvious. Right now, Coffeyville shoot very well from 3. They are 8 of 12, which is 66%. Then you look on the other side, Barton, they're 0 of 13. That is not where you want that number. 0 of 13 from the three-point line. Then Barton again, 10 of 35. That's shy of 30% from the floor in comparison to Coffeyville, shooting 52% from the floor and just shy of 80% from the free throw line, which is probably the only thing that Barton really has over any that Coffeyville has right now. They're 10 of 12 from the free throw line, and that's one thing from that first half, Matt, that Coffeyville really needs to get those numbers down, was the personal fouls. 13 personal fouls in that first half.
And that's so true. You saw a lot of fouls, a lot of careless fouls, and those caused turnovers and points at the line. Another thing, like to go back to the three-point shooting of Barton, 0 and 11. That is awful. They average 40% as a team. That is really good for a team to average 40% from deep. But right now, no one can get anything going. The only one really producing is DeAndre Washington. He has 10 points. But another thing to point out about this Barton team, they average 18 assists a game. That's pretty good. Right now, only 4 assists. Very isolation ball, not doing very good on the dribble drive, not kicking it out to the open person. A lot of hero ball is what I like to call it, trying to will their team back in. Washington is really the only person doing anything. But the person that I believe that is our first half hero for the Red Ravens, Tony Hudson.
Oh, yeah.
He was on fire from deep, 4 for 5. 14 points, and all he did was score off the bench. That is the kind of team we have this year. All 15 people that we have score. Everyone can shoot a 3. It doesn't matter where you are on the court. You got to guard everyone. This team is lethal, and I believe the depth of this team is the number one thing that Coffeyville has that no other team has.
No doubt about it. I'll tell you what, 2 of their starters very close to double digits. One of them is in double digit with Tevin Brewer at 12, and then Marvin Johnson with 9 points, and then you mentioned Tony Hudson with 14. That's our leading scorer through the first half. That's the difference. Again, Barton has those 4 guys that do very, very well in terms of scoring. In fact, they're at top of the leaderboard in a lot of three-point percentages. Caldwell at top of the entire Jayhawk Conference in terms of three-point percentage, and as well as Hunt. Tony Hudson's up there inside that top 5. And then you look over to the field goal percentage, forward for Barton Community College, and White, my goodness, sound like a CD player skipping right now. It's ridiculous. But White over on that end, they shoot very well from the floor tonight. CCC's defense is just not necessarily turnover-minded. They've only scored 8 points off of turnovers, and they've only forced 8 of them. Normally they get to this point and they've forced a double-digit amount of turnovers. But great defense down low. They are disallowing any penetration, and then obviously Barton shooting very poorly from the floor right now.
And that's so true. Barton looking like a team that with their head cut off right now, don't know what to do, not playing very good team basketball. They need to start going back to the fundamentals, making the wide open pass, doing good, just as a team. You need to come back to the fundamentals, make the chest pass. Don't try to go for the hero ball. Don't try to make the threes. Just go back. You still got 20 minutes left in this game. Anything can happen. But on the flip side, the former KJCCC player of the week, Tevin Brewer, lighting it up once again. 3 for 6 from the field, 2 for 2 for deep. And those were deep threes is what we're talking about right now. 4 for 4 from the line. 12 points, and what stands out, he's getting his team involved. 6 assists.
That's a big one.
And Coffeyville is not known as a big passing team. Only 17 assists a game, but right now 15. That means they are going around, finding the open person, and doing a great job of team basketball.
Yes, they are. Distributing the basketball, that was one thing. If you didn't say it, I was going to. 6 assists for Tevin Brewer along with his 12 points. He's certainly looking like he's on his way to a double-double. That would be nice to see from one of these players. He is almost perfect from the floor. From the three-point line, he is. From the free throw line, he is. And then just 1 of 4 from the floor tonight. My goodness, might as well take a break on that note there as we wrap up our halftime report. Down by 25 is the Barton CC Cougars, so Red Ravens with a complete handle on this game. It is the number 9 Barton Cougars against the number 4 CCC Red Ravens. We'll take a 2-minute break. When we come back, we will have second half basketball here on 98.1 KUSN. Actually, it's Nathan Ray back in the studio. Let's just take a 60-second break, 60 seconds, and we'll be back. Second half basketball after the break.
Helping you move forward. That's what Coffeyville Community College does. Whether you want to increase your ability to advance at work, learning to earn a 2-year, or just want to expand your horizons, Coffeyville Community College can help. And CCC is flexible, offering a traditional college setting. Fast 8-week classes or even online classes. CCC can meet your needs your way. Call CCC at 620-251-7700 or visit them online at coffeyville.edu. We are Coffeyville Community College.
A celebration is in order every time CCC comes to play, and you can trust Gillum Liquor to back it up with an endless cooler filled with your favorite pick of ice-cold beer, or choose something from the vast wine selection to help you relax and wind down after an exhilarating CCC game. Whatever your pleasure, Gillum Liquor is always in for the win. Gillum Liquor, 1713 West 8th Street in Coffeyville.
Second half basketball here on 98.1 KUSN. Back in the studios here in Coffeyville, we got Nathan Ray on the producing board doing the color commentary tonight. It is sophomore with Coffeyville Community College, Matt Dick. I'm Sam Speck. Happy to have you with us here on 98.1 KUSN. Currently in the midst of some technical difficulties we'd like to call hiccups. So if it sounds like a CD skipping, it is not you having a stroke. It is just me hiccuping currently during the broadcast. As Barton will open up the second half with the possession of the basketball, and that one's taken away. CCC very quickly now on the turnaround. They'll come out. They are in all white with the red accent. That means numbers and lettering on there, and the stripes as well. They're moving now from right to left here in this second half. They find Marvin Johnson now. He drives into the paint. The floater from 10 feet. Marvin Johnson back on the board.
And I love how he contorts his body and makes that look easy. For most players, that's a hard shot.
Yes, it is. Barton now in response. They find an open jumper from 3, and way too much room in the corner is Votes. He finds an easy shot, and 3 points on the board for Barton.
And he was shut down in the first half. Finally scratches the scoreboard with his first 3. He's a 45% shooter from deep. They got a D up on him.
And here's Mikkel Murray handing it off to Hudson for CCC. Hudson now to Johnson. Johnson drives and took one too many steps on his drive to the basket. Called for the travel. CCC gives it right back to Barton. 1 minute through this second half. CCC 57. Barton Community College 33, as now the Cougars will bring the basketball up. They get it down to their big man. They try to muscle it in, and he does just that. Great job by Akeem White, 6'6", using that strength as well. Finds his way to the low block. Easy 2 points.
And Akeem White finally scratching the board as well. He was shut down. Maybe this Barton offense is finally starting to churn.
And Johnson pull-up jumper from 25 feet with a hand in his face. Marvin Johnson with about 5 seconds through the shot clock knocks down the easy jump.
And Johnson looks like he came out of the break with something on his mind. I want to go beat Tevin Brewer for scoring the most points. 3 scores in the first couple minutes, all by Marvin Johnson. Great job by him.
Puts him up to 59. That very quickly we come down in transition, and Keon Queen is called for the foul. It is 59 to 35 after his second personal foul. That's the team's first. Again, that is a number that you've got to keep down. Here's Barton after the inbounds. That's Washington driving high off the glass, no good. CCC comes away with the rebound. Queen now to Washington. Washington now on that far side with the right-hand dribble. Now brings it back up on top to reset the offense. Washington with the basketball. Pulls it up now to Johnson. Johnson for three. No good off the side of the iron. Offensive rebound by Queen. Up no good on the second chance. And that one again is grabbed by Queen. He goes up, draws the foul. And a great job there by Keon Queen to get some physicality in there and get the rebound a couple times. Unfortunately, didn't get the basket he was looking for, but he'll head to the free throw line for a pair.
And Keon Queen, not known for the best free throw shooter, but, he's known for being a defensive anchor on this team. And right there you saw, got two offensive boards, try to go back up, and went to the line. He sinks the first one with under 18 minutes to go in this first half.
Yeah, knocks down that first one. You like to see that. Moves them to 60 points. Second one up, no good. Rattles around the rim. Makes it now 60-35 as Barton will bring the basketball back up with Votes. Votes with the basketball. He's guarded very closely by Hudson. Votes now over. He finds Bryson. Bryson up on top to the big man. He finds White. White now kicks it up over to Votes. Votes now back to White. He drives in the paint. Muscles and took about 5 or 6 extra steps. That'll be called for the travel. 16:30 to go in the ball game. 60-35 is the score. And the travel gives it right back to CCC as Mikkel Murray on the inbounds finds Tevin Brewer.
And great job by Tevin Brewer getting in there, causing the travel, knocking the ball, and then a lapse of judgment by the Barton offense.
There's Hudson, wants another three. That's no good. That was, I believe, his first miss from deep land. And he steps in front of the pass now, 2-on-1 to Murray, up and in. And a great pass from Hudson to Murray, though he got the steal and the pass. And the 2 points there. Now here's Barton in response. Up on top, wants the three, and Votes finds the three and knocks down the three. I can't take too big of a gulp in, I'll tell you what there, Matt. It's going to be a struggle.
And you see Votes finally 2 for 4 from deep now. He's finally finding his stroke. Barton offense finally has something to build on in the second half.
The give and go pass to Johnson finds his way to the paint. Missed on the first try, missed on the second try, but he gets his own rebound again, and he goes up, misses once more, and he will head to the free throw line for a pair of shots, as that's another foul coming against number 2 Johnson there. And that's the team's second foul here in this half.
And Marvin Johnson, someone we actually forgot to mention at halftime, 9 points and 5 assists. He's doing a great job of creating for this team and, of course, leading this Red Ravens team in points scored right now with 15. But he's taking a role today as the facilitator. He's doing a great job.
Yeah, you're right. He is the guy that creates the turnovers and then either takes it coast to coast or pulls up for the jumper. 5 assists. He's doing a great job distributing the basketball. Knocked down the first one, looking for the second one, and did a great job there, going 2 of 2 from the strike. 64-38 after the free throw and the 2-1-2 full court press put on here by CCC. Barton now will bring it up. He's pushed into the double team, but a good job there to get the pass over. He finds Hunt. Hunt goes down low, passes it off to Washington. Washington draws the foul, I believe, and he will head to the free throw line for a pair of shots. Keon Queen's third personal foul, as I'm sure Queen will be heading to the free throw line to the sideline fairly soon.
And like we mentioned, Keon Queen kind of hot-headed last year. Another questionable foul, but he's doing a good job of staying calm and collected and just being that defensive anchor that this Red Ravens team needs.
Yeah,
they need his presence on the court, and he's doing a good job. Now, 3 fouls, he has 2 fouls left. He's got to be selective on how aggressive he is here and there. But other than that, he's doing a good job today.
First one put up there by Washington is knocked down. But, yeah, normally last year it was something that would resonate with him. He would kind of still be talking about the foul. He would still be talking about the missed call or whichever. Right now, he's just ready to go out and play more basketball. Both of them knocked down, makes it back to a 24-point deficit. CCC up 64-40. Speaking of Queen, they get it to him on the low block. He muscles tried to pass it to Murray. And that pass goes wide of everybody. Goes out of bounds, and Barton gets the possession back. So the inbounds to Barton. Here's Leandre Washington, the 6-foot sophomore out of Englewood, New Jersey. Will bring it up here for the Cougars. Right-hand dribble. He'll hand it off to his guard. That's Andrews. Andrews now back up on top to Caldwell. Caldwell now to Votes. Votes with the left-hand dribble. He's got nowhere to go. Great defense there by Brewer. Now he hands it to Washington. 10 on the shot clock. He's in a double team. Washington nowhere to go and a 3-on-1. Here's Johnson, takes it away to Murray, and a bad alley-oop pass. And not happy over here is the coaching staff again. That is an easy 2 points, and instead they went for the flash.
Yeah, you know, when you're beating them 3-on-1, you're trying to go for something crazy, but just go back to the fundamentals. You're up big. There's no reason to try to do something crazy, and a nice knockdown jumper by Vogt.
You're right. As I'll tell you what, the Cougars come down after that missed alley-oop. They knock down a 3, and that 5 minutes has passed, so Herkelman says, I'm done with those 5 players. We got 5 subs coming in here in just a moment, but a pass real quick down to Queen, and a great eye by Tony Hudson finds Queen on the low block and an easy 2 points. They go back up 66-43 with 15 minutes to go here in the ball game. Barton struggling to get it over half, and Johnson steps in front of another pass. He brings down by himself up and in on the finger roll, and 68-43. Again, he does a great job creating turnovers. Trying to get another one there is Mikkel Murray, and instead Barton gets it right back.
But a great job by Johnson once again, being a defensive-minded small forward, and a great job by him, not going for flashy this time, just the easy 2.
You're right, and here's a difficult 2 put up by Barton. A well-contested jumper is no good. That one comes away with a rebound by Johnson. Coffeyville, great pass down low to Queen, and Queen lost the basketball again. That one slips out of his hands, and I think it hit off the rafters. I mean, the first one just kind of went out and over the basketball. That one almost hit the ceiling. I don't know what happened there, but obviously struggling to hang on to it, and there is the fresh 5 legs. We've got Casey Benton, Quan Marshall, Anthony Jones, Manny Crump, and A.J. Webster out on the floor for the 5 for CCC.
And like we mentioned before, they're trying to go for the flash. He went up for the dunk. He had an easy layup. Easy layup would have brought him up by a lot more, would have had him at 70, would have made this Barton offense have to try even harder than they are right now, but instead a lapse of judgment and a careless turnover.
Yeah, and then a beautiful reverse layup there put up by John Williams by Barton. Now it just kind of rubs more salt in the wound. Makes it 68-45. Great pass down low to Crump. Crump looked like he was hacked on the shot, but not called for the foul there. And the Barton CC steps on the out-of-bounds line during the rebound. So they're going to say CCC will hang on to the possession there, but questionable no call by the officials on Crump, as he was hacked on all angles during his jump shot.
Yeah, and that's true. That was definitely a foul in my book. But, you know, like we said, refs make mistakes. They're humans just like us. So let's see if they can get a call or 2 right this time.
We'll see as the pass goes to Jones. Flies in on the floater. No good from 5 feet. And again, this 5 hasn't been out there for a good 10-15 minutes as that one's off the backboard. No good for Barton. Again, that's 5 that started the second half. They got to come out, but straight into the second half locker room. This 5 out there right now hasn't played about 15, 20 whole minutes. As you can kind of see that right now, they're trying to get some rust out of the joints as a pass down low to Webster. High, up off the glass, bounces around the rim a couple times, no good. Crump on the response, and Crump gets called for the foul. So Manny Crump gets called for the over the back there on the rebound. Good chance and a good try as well there by Crump to get the tip in, but instead he gets called for his 3rd personal.
And let's hope this doesn't spur another thing of foul, back and forth, to where we go in the double bonus. Yeah, and it was a long first half, you know, kind of grinded out in the first half. But right now, the Barton offense is looking like they're ready to run.
They are, and it's denied. Manny Crump steps in front of this one, and a jump shot by Barton is taken down. Manny Crump takes that one away in transition. The pass goes to Benton, and Benton steps on the out-of-bounds line, and that will result in another turnover. Coach Herkman is not happy with the team right now. He's got a lot to say to his guys. They're up big right now, but again, he is not happy with some of the mistakes they have made. We'll take a quick 30 seconds aside. They're up 68-45, back in 30 on 98.1.
Ho, ho, ho. It's Alamosa Amy here, letting everyone know Lay's Archery and Guns is having a closeout sale. Closeout sale on all 2017 bows with 25% off through November. Hurry before they're gone. Lay's Archery and Guns also has a great selection on Case brand knives. Case knives make the perfect stocking stuffer for any stocking you have to stuff. Christmas shop in the country at Lay's Archery and Guns, west of Coffeyville on County Road 1250. Lay's Archery and Guns wishes you happy holidays.
Welcome back out of the timeout. Coffeyville still up big here with just under 13 to play in the ball game. 68-45 up on the number 9 Barton Community College Cougars. CCC and they're all whites. They're moving from left to right. Barton from left to right as they get it down low. That's the Cougars trying to force their way in on the low block. That's no good. Jones gets the pass after the rebound by Crump, and here comes the Red Ravens now up over half. Jones stands on the Jay Herkelman side, now passes it right to Quan Marshall. Marshall up on top near center circle. Now he looks left, back over to Jones. Jones tried to get it down low to Webster. Instead, drives the right hand. Now dishes it to Manny Crump. Low block, draws the foul, and Manny Crump will head to the free throw line for a pair of shots after he missed the opportunity there.
And Manny Crump had a pretty good first half for us. 5 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. You know, solid numbers off the bench, and he's looking good from the line so far today, too.
First one up, no good. That's a brick off the back of the iron, and a missed free throw there. Keeps the score where it's at, 68-45. A substitution in as Tyrell Andrew makes his way out, and that is Martine Votes on his way in as well for the Barton CC Cougars. Again, 10-0 on the year, as Barton, again, up until this last weekend, really hasn't played a whole lot of competition, as the second one is knocked down there by Crump. But they played Cowley Community College very well, and they beat them by double digits, almost 20, actually, as Barton now will bring it down after the made basket, 69-45 with 12:10 to go in the ball game. Here's the Cougars over on that far side, back up on top to Votes. Votes with the right-hand dribble, now looks into this corner. He finds Caldwell. Caldwell drives down low. That's no good. Off of the backboard, and coming away with the rebound is Quan Marshall. Nice defensive rebound as Marshall struggles to get away, and some separation. Now passes it to Webster. Pull-up jumper from 10 feet. That's no good. Offensive rebound by Crump, and that one's denied. Barton comes away with a nice block, and they get it right back out of Crump. They want a 3 in response. That's no good. Defensive rebound by Crump. Crump gets it to Jones, and Jones will bring it back up. So some fast-paced basketball here on these last couple of pushes up the court. Quan Marshall with it. Now he hands it to Jones, and a foul down low. That's going to be called on Anthony Webster.
And like you said, fast-paced offenses, that's what we both said coming into this game is what you got to watch out for. And right now, both these offenses running back and forth. But another careless foul by A.J. Webster.
And he will find his way to the sideline. That brings back out redshirt sophomore Jackson Miller. As Jackson Miller, number 33, does bring great size. He's got a pretty good shot as well. Just the only issue is he lacks that strength that Queen or Crump or Webster does bring to that low block. He's got great size, just not the strength that they're looking for. And this one's stolen away. Great job by Casey Benton up to Jones. Jones doesn't have an alley, so he has to kick it back out, and Casey Benton's pass goes over everybody's head and out of bounds. A lot of mistakes here in this second half, and you better thank the fact that we're up by 20 right now.
And that's so true. You know, right now, lapse of judgment by the Ravens all around right now, but you know that they'll be back. Herkelman will talk to them, get a timeout maybe soon, and we'll be right back churning. But you got to say, hey, good job by Barton to kind of slow us down, make us make mistakes, and they're kind of making a run as well.
You're right. As Barton really through a lot of the game, they're a slow-paced basketball team. They like to run things half-court in comparison to Coffeyville. Coffeyville likes to shoot the basketball within about 5 or 6 seconds into the shot clock. Barton doing a good job slowing things down. Fortunately for CCC, they got off to a huge run and a 25-point halftime lead as the pass goes to Benton. Benton wants a 3. That's no good. And Casey, he has been quiet all night tonight. Number 2, who is normally so good from 3, so good from the floor, and normally in that starting 5 as well. He has been silent tonight. Jackson Miller diving for the pass. Tips it to Benton, up and on the missed. He missed the dunk. Casey Benton on the miss there again. An easy layup. Instead tried to go flashy. Jackson Miller called for the foul on the other end as Barton comes down. But again, Casey Benton, he tried to get that alley-oop earlier this time. Tries to go for the dunk, and he missed.
You know, it goes back to, would you rather go for a flash without actually getting it, or 2 points to add on this lead and put more pressure on Barton? You know Herkelman would go for the easy 2 points every single time. Benton just trying to show that he deserves to, you know, be better. And right now he's showing that he's not doing very good by making lapse judgment calls. And right now giving Barton some steam right now.
A little bit of life at least. I mean, I'll tell you what, with those 2 free throws made there after the foul, yes, both of those were made at 69-47. Still over 20 points is what separates them. But you're right, Barton kind of gaining more and more traction as we head through. Miller gets the pass down low. Baseline jumper from 15 feet. That's no good. So he gets his own rebound, muscles his way, and he gets that basketball back up on top to Marshall. He's at the center circle to reset with the right hand. Now finds Casey Benton. Benton will drive with the left hand into the paint. He goes. The floater off the glass. That's no good. And the woes continue for number 2. Here's Barton now in transition. Up off the glass with the left hand and in. Briante Hunt makes that one look easy.
And something that Barton has that they didn't show in the first half is speed on the guards. And right now, a great job by them just willing their way back in this game. They're still down by big, but you got a sense that they could turn this thing around.
Yeah, certainly. If they get off to a big run here and CCC continues those struggles, yeah, they could get back into it as Jones drives and it's denied. Barton swats that one away now in transition. Look at his score once more. Up off the glass and in it goes. John Williams as Barton. My, oh my, have they just turned on the Jets here, 69-51. And I'm not sure if it's because the starting 5 isn't out there right now or if the fatigue is setting in, but these 5 guys are getting overmatched. Crump almost has that one stolen away. He's in the paint, and he gets fouled inside the paint. So Manny Crump, right there, you'd almost want to, complain at his teammates more. You got to help a man out when he's in double, triple coverage. There's the media timeout we've been waiting for. 8:48 to go here in the ball game. It is 69-51. CCC on tap. Back in 60 seconds here on 98.1 KUSN.
Keep it simple with great food at great prices. That's what you'll find at Simple Simon's Pizza in Coffeyville. Oh, yes, you'll find great pizza and a whole lot more, like calzones, wings, breadsticks, and sandwiches. Stop in today for a Coffeyville favorite, the Simple Simon's Lunch Buffet. Simple Simon's makes it easy for you to dine in, carry out, or delivery. Simple Simon's Pizza, 807 West 11th in Coffeyville. Simple Simon's, simply delicious.
When it comes to a time of loss, more folks around here trust and rely on the David W. Barnes Funeral Home. It could be because of their compassionate care. It could be because of their guaranteed superior service, or maybe because of their fair and honest prices, or just maybe for all of these reasons, more folks trust the David W. Barnes Funeral Home during a time of loss. The David W. Barnes Funeral Home at 306 North Klein in Coffeyville, an independent, family-owned business.
Welcome back here on 98.1 KUSN. Game number 2 of our doubleheader against Barton Community College. The ladies in a close match in game number 1 get beat by 3. Right now the men in clear control of this ball game. Though, Matt, I'll tell you what, Barton doing every little thing right to kind of inch their way back into this game. Now all they need is a big run. And if they do that, this one might turn against the Tides for CCC.
And you see that Herkelman said, hey, I'm going to put out Tevin, Williams, and Hudson right now to start that offensive onslaught that we had in the first half. Let's see what can happen.
And the inbounds, the great pass finds Keon Queen finally on the low block, and finally that turnaround. Keon Queen has missed a few of those tonight. He gets that one, moves them back up by 20, 71-51, 8:30 to go in the ball game. Happy to have you with us, whether you're listening over the broadcast at CCC Television, over the air here on 98.1 KUSN. As one too many steps taken there by Eric Amandillo, and that one gives it right back up to CCC. You can catch us under the Listen Live tab on our website at kggfradio.com as well, under the 98.1 KUSN. Your home for Red Raven Athletics all through the 2018-2019 season. As I'll tell you what, football season was a lot of fun. Good to see Coach Flo back on the sidelines. In fact, he's in attendance tonight. He's down there on the baseline. But I'll tell you what, this basketball team, my, oh my, do they look like they want another Jayhawk Conference tournament, and they want that national tournament as well. Here's Johnson, pull-up jumper for CCC. That's no good for the far baseline. Barton now in response. They bring it up in transition. Up and in off the boards, and great job there off of the miss is Devontae Caldwell. He makes that an easy 2 points, 7:50 to go, and down by 18.
And Caldwell was also shut down in that first half, only scored about 4 points, and now he's came out and made a good second half presence, telling them, we're not going to go away easy this time.
And they have kind of played all that way through the second half, especially these last 5 minutes or so as Brewer now gets it to Johnson. Johnson down low, great pass to Murray, and Murray up off the glass, and Mikel Murray makes it back to a 20-point lead, and back to that full court press do they go. A 2-1-2 as Hudson and Brewer not giving an inch on those defenders. They just made it up over half court. As bringing it now is Washington to the low block. He kicks it out. Wide open for three is Hunt. That's no good. And Murray comes away with a defensive rebound. Murray to Brewer. Brewer blows by everybody. Kicks it to Johnson for three. No good. And that one kicks over the back of the backboard there and goes out of bounds. But I'll tell you what, the speed of Tevin Brewer is impressive. He just blew by everybody right there, and I made a mistake. It did not go out of bounds. It was actually a foul that was called. That foul coming against number 13, Anthony Atkinson-Ennington of Barton. So he'll make his way to the sideline. CCC hangs on to the possession.
And like you said, Tevin Brewer with the speed. What he doesn't have in size, he makes up in athleticism and speed. This guy can make any sort of layup that you can imagine.
And this pass is going alongside, try to get it into Marvin Johnson. Instead, the alley-oop is no good once again, as they just had that timeout. No more than 2 minutes ago, I think Herkelman trying to really emphasize the fact, just make the darn basket instead of trying to be flashy at this point. They tried an alley-oop on the inbounds there, and Herkelman not happy with it. That's certainly one thing I'm going to sit down with him and talk, as after this ball game, most likely we will sit with Jay Herkelman and get a quick 5-minute interview on this game, as well as the upcoming game this weekend as they travel over to Pratt. We'll have more on that as we edge closer to the wrapping up of this game. Up by 20, though, here is CCC. Barton comes down. They take a jumper from the baseline. That's no good. And Tony Hudson comes away with the rebound. Hudson now gives it to Brewer. He'll reset the offense from center circle. Moving from right to left with the right-hand dribble. Now he finds his big man, Mikel Murray. Murray's got nowhere to go, so he gives it right back to Brewer. On the far side, now up on top to Johnson. Swings it to Hudson. Down low to Queen. Nice give-and-go pass to Johnson, but it's tipped away. Barton does a great job. Now they've got a breakaway. Up and in. Washington, an easy 2 points. And that will make it 73-55. Another timeout taken on the floor. That's Coach Fletch over there on the other side for Barton. They'll take a quick 60-second timeout. Full timeout on the floor. We'll take 60-second ourselves. 73-55, CCC in the lead. Back in a minute.
How is Windsor Place different? We invite you to come meet our staff. While much of the long-term care industry is plagued by high staff turnover, Windsor Place is blessed with many long-time employees. From administration to nurses and aides, we have many staff members who have been providing quality, compassionate care to Windsor Place residents for years. It's easy to see our residents are always a top priority. Find out why Windsor Place is a great place to live and work. Call 620-252-4929.
Move forward. You can by becoming a part of the Acme Foundry team in Coffeyville. Acme Foundry has current openings for CNC machinists and entry-level foundry positions. Acme offers competitive wages, benefits including medical and dental, and a retirement plan through employee ownership. Acme moves careers forward by promoting from within. Find out more. Apply in person at Acme Foundry, 1502 South Spruce Street in Coffeyville. Acme Foundry, an equal opportunity employer.
Welcome back. We are about three-quarters through this ball game. We got 6:13 to go left in it. Coffeyville still up by big. They're up by 18. It is 73-55 as CCC will have the possession coming in out of the timeout. That timeout taken over there by Coach Fletchall, a 14-year coach with the Barton Cougars, as he takes that full timeout. Just trying to talk to his guys, as I'll tell you what, they've done a great job just staying in this one. It's been really over since halftime. Really since the beginning of the game. They haven't had the lead once in this one, but here in the second half, they've slowed things down, and they've given themselves a chance. So CCC doing their best to really squash those chances, as now Murray gets a great pass from Hudson. Murray drives into the paint, up and in off the glass, and Mikel Murray makes it back to a 20-point lead.
And Mikel Murray, he demonstrated in the first half how he can get down low and get the easy two. And right there, a great find and an easy two for
indeed.
The Red Ravens.
Yes, it was. As now Barton comes down, trying to quickly get a layup. That one's on a baseline shot. That's no good. Brewer, again, the smallest guy in the court, comes away with a rebound. He gets the give-and-go pass back to Brewer, down to Queen now. Queen draws the foul. Somehow they didn't call a foul, but he goes up and in on the basket. he got everybody to leave their feet. Contact, no whistle blown, but either way, he'll take the 2 points that comes with it, 77-55 after the basket made there by Queen.
And you love how Tevin Brewer, the smallest guy on the court with the best court vision, he saw Keon Queen wide open in the paint, and a great pump fake by him.
And Johnson on the steal, up and in. Marvin Johnson takes it away from Barton, and he goes up and in, and he didn't go for the slam there. He went with a layup.
And there you go. Herkelman probably preached, hey, let's just make this game not even insurmountable lead. Let's make this a lead that they can't overcome.
And another steal by Murray, and the windmill, the slam, the Cal Murray makes it 81-55. There is a good excuse to be flashy.
Yeah, exactly. You're wide open, no one down the court, and Mikael Murray is definitely making this game very fun to watch.
Industrial strength for your home? You can get it at Four State Maintenance Supply in Coffeyville. The same quality products the big companies use are available for retail sale at Four State Maintenance Supply. From cleaning chemicals to paper products, even upright vacuums. A lot better than you find at the big box stores. They can last up to 10 years or longer, and they cost a lot less than you'd think. Run your house like a business, getting more value for your money. Shop Four State Maintenance Supply on North Klein in Coffeyville.
Hey, Raven fans, coming into town for a game? Make it a great weekend. Reserve your room at Coffeyville Sleep-In and Suites, Coffeyville's premier home away from home. Enjoy plush, clean accommodations, a free continental breakfast, indoor pool, Wi-Fi, and superior staff and services. Ask about special AARP and military discounts. Coffeyville Sleep-In and Suites, a proud supporter of the Red Ravens. Helping you move forward. That's what Coffeyville Community College does.
The second half, 3:45 to go in the ball game, 81-55. This game is pretty much all but over, and we will see one of the freshmen make his way into the ball game. That's Kenny Stewart. Stewart, again, one of those guys that I'm sure Herkelman, as well as the rest of this team, trying to emphasize to get him the basketball. Is the first one there on the 1-and-1 by Marvin Johnson, goes up and in. So he makes it 82-55. But again, Kenny Stewart, one of those guys that doesn't see more than maybe 4 or 5 minutes a game. And, you know, it's one of those things where you want to transition a player into next year. That's what you're always thinking of, is obviously in his 24th year here with Jay Herkelman. He's always thinking about the next year and what the next thing will bring for CCC basketball. And Kenny Stewart may be one of those things. Barton gives the basketball up once again. This is 98.1 KUSN. Alongside Matt Dick, I'm Sam Speck. Back in the studios, it's Nathan Ray, as we are happy to have you with us here for game number 2. We are inching closer to the 10th win of the year for the Coffeyville Red Ravens. They are up big, up by 18, 83-55. Or it's, almost 28, excuse me. So they're almost up by 30. Again, I wasn't hired to do math, hired to tell you about the game, but close to 30 points is what separates them here with 3:20 to go. Brewer and CCC gets the basketball from Queen back out to Brewer, right on Jay Herkelman's side. Now he drives, kicks it to Stewart. Stewart wants a three, no good, and that one's up. And Keon Queen, I believe, does a great job there by drawing the foul. That one's coming on the rebound. Eric Amandio called for the foul against Barton. That will send Keon Queen to the free throw line for a pair.
And you see Keon Queen doing a great job positioning himself down low, getting those fouls. Usually it's the opposite way around. Last year, that's how it was for him. But this year, he's turned it around and is doing a great job positioning his body and getting himself to the line right there and makes the first one, up by 29 with almost 3 minutes to go left in this game.
Yeah, knocks that one down easily, makes it now 84-55. Trying to make it 30, and he does just that. Knocks it down. 85-55 is your score with 3:12 to go left in this ball game. You had mentioned those foul numbers. Yeah, last year, again, I had only called the games late February, early March as well, so I got to see them through tournament time. But it was about the first 10 minutes of the game that Keon had 3, maybe 4 fouls. initially eliminating him until the final 5 minutes, which is exactly what happened. Keon's been out there during his shift all game long. You got to love to see number 15 out there. Even if he's not scoring, he makes an impact as a foul is made, as Barton will drive in towards the baseline there. That's Briante Hunt drawing the foul. Kenny Stewart gets called for the contact, and I believe that shot is, that foul coming on the shot. So we will see a pair of free throws.
And like you said, Keon Queen doing a great job. He's just one of those people that is a on-court presence that you love. He's aggressive, but last year he was a little too aggressive. This year he's made it to where the aggressiveness is where he changes the momentum on defense instead of changing the momentum for the other team.
You're very right, and both of those free throws are unsuccessful. Lead stays at 30. Nice swing to Mikal Murray, up and in. And I believe Mikal Murray drew the foul there as well. So Murray will be heading to the free throw line for a potential three-point play as they inch closer to their season average, 88 points per game. They're at 87. And again, a big thing. They are right on their averages here tonight. They average about 60 points given up by the other team. They're at 55 right now, scored by Barton, which, again, that's a number that I could look at all night long. Barton came into tonight averaging just over or just shy, I believe, of 100 points per game. Either 99.9 or 100.1, whatever it may be, as a three-point shot put up there by the Cougars is no good. And Murray comes down. Great rebound. Muscles his way in for another defensive rebound. Murray to Johnson, now to Queen on the low block. Back to Johnson. He drives the right hand, kicks it back to Queen. Queen's got nowhere to go. In fact, he stuffs himself into a double team. Now to Stewart. Stewart drives, right hand, finger roll, no good. Murray trying to get the slam on the putback, and that one goes away. Barton finds that basketball in their hands, but it does find the out-of-bounds line, and CCC will get it right back. So we're just about ready for 2 minutes left in this ball game. CCC just trying to inch their way to victory.
And like you mentioned, Barton came in very high-octane offense, almost 100 points, 99.7 points a game. Okay, almost 40% from deep. That's great shooting. And over 50% from the field. So right there, those are amazing numbers. This defense of the Red Ravens has shut them down completely. And like you said, almost hitting their averages on how many points they average. But the thing that you got to love the most is the points that they allow. 55 right now on average, only 60.
And Cedric Lee off the bench. He comes in the first time he touches the basketball. He makes a floater from 10 feet, makes it 89-55 with 95 seconds to go in the ball game. Barton brings it down. They want a three from the corner. That's no good. Marshall gets the defensive rebound, and it looks like Herkelman wants Marshall to slow things down, and he does just that. Now a minute 25 to go. Marshall, he's guarded, stuffed into a double team. Now he finds Lee. Lee to Stewart, back to Lee. In that far right side, Lee with the left hand, kicks it now to Marshall. 10 on the shot clock. Good job here to burn that down. Stewart now back up on top to Lee. Great pass down low to Webster. Up, no good on the missed opportunity. Crump comes away with a rebound. That one's tipped out of his hands and goes out of bounds. And off of the tip, it hits off of Barton last. Goes out. CCC hangs on to it. Hits off of Andrews. And we'll have a toss in for the baseline.
And I'm going to go ahead and say it. This was a great game by the Red Ravens, showing them that they're not done right now. They are steamrolling through teams right now. And it's been their offense. The thing that has impressed me the most is their defense. And it's not even that they're that big. I mean, they do have size. It's just that they know how to get into people's heads. And also, they know how to get down low, box out, and do a great job all around.
Yep, immediately off of that inbound there, Kenny Stewart takes one too many steps. He's called for the travel, so CCC gives it right back up to Barton. 40 seconds till we head to double-digit wins on the year. And that will nestle us further and further into first place in the eastern side of the Jayhawk Conference. That one's put up there by the Cougars. That was Atkinson Ennington to go up there. Webster called on the foul. And that will result in a couple of shots here coming up as, again, you look at the numbers right now. Barton and CCC have kind of flipped in terms of personal fouls and team fouls. 11 for Barton and just 7. So that foul right there will move them into the bonus. Normally we see Coffeyville last in that first half. You saw Barton in the double bonus with 9 minutes to go in that first half.
And that's so true. Another thing that they've done good on but hasn't really translated to the scoreboard is make their free throws. If they would have made better decisions on the court offensively and made their free throws, it could be a completely different game right now.
No doubt as about a half a second separates the game clock and the play clock. And Barton just doing everything they can to disrupt that play. That's Devontae Caldwell coming in and disrupting Quan Marshall, though he fouled Quan Marshall on his way up over center. 17 seconds to go in the ball game. Coffeyville 89, Barton 57. It's been one heck of a ball game and one heck of an evening here for CCC basketball. First shot up there by Marshall, no good. It has been a rough night for Quan tonight, as lots of turnovers, lots of mental mistakes, and a lot of missed baskets as well, especially the freebies. Second one up, and that one's knocked down. So he goes 1 of 2 this time, puts the team up to 90. 15 to go left in this ball game. Caldwell drives with the right hand. Now he kicks it out to his guard. Now back up on top. They'll swing it around to Ennington. Ennington now over to Votes. Votes with 2 on the game clock, and that'll do it. 3-2-1 it goes. Coffeyville gets the win, 90-57 here at home. They get a good home win against a very good Barton Cougars team. And that's one thing, is to just kind of speak of the strength of the CCC team. A top 10 undefeated team here in the Jayhawk Conference Tournament, and they beat them by 33 points. That just shows miles of the talent on this team. We'll take a 2-minute break. When we get back from this 2-minute break, I believe I'll sit down with the head coach of the CCC men's Red Raven coach, Jay Herkelman. After that, Matt and I will wrap things up here from Jay Herkelman Court. So again, a brief 2-minute step aside when we come down. When we come back from that 2-minute break, we will break down this ball game. I believe I'll sit down with head coach Jay Herkelman, and then Matt and I will wrap things up here from Nellis Hall. So CCC gets the win, 90-57 here on 98.1 KUSN. Back in 2 minutes.
A celebration is in order every time CCC comes to play, and you can trust Gillum Liquor to back it up with an endless cooler filled with your favorite pick of ice-cold beer, or choose something from the vast wine selection to help you relax and wind down after an exhilarating CCC game. Whatever your pleasure, Gillum Liquor is always in for the win. Gillum Liquor, 1713 West 8th Street in Coffeyville.
Ho, 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 it's Alamosa Amy here, letting everyone know Lay's Archery and Guns is having a closeout sale. Closeout sale on all 2017 bows with 25% off through November. Hurry before they're gone. Lay's Archery and Guns also has a great selection on Case brand knives. Case knives make the perfect stocking stuffer for any stocking you have to stuff. Christmas shop in the country at Lay's Archery and Guns, west of Coffeyville on County Road 1250. Lay's Archery and Guns wishes you happy holidays.
Keep it simple with great food at great prices. That's what you'll find at Simple Simon's Pizza in Coffeyville. Oh, yes, you'll find great pizza and a whole lot more, like calzones, wings, breadsticks, and sandwiches. Stop in today for a Coffeyville favorite, the Simple Simon's Lunch Buffet. Simple Simon's makes it easy for you to dine in, carry out, or delivery. Simple Simon's Pizza, 807 West 11th in Coffeyville. Simple Simon's, simply delicious.
When it comes to a time of loss, more folks around here trust and rely on the David W. Barnes Funeral Home. It could be because of their compassionate care. It could be because of their guaranteed superior service, or maybe because of their fair and honest prices, or just maybe for all of these reasons, more folks trust the David W. Barnes Funeral Home during a time of loss. The David W. Barnes Funeral Home at 306 North Klein in Coffeyville, an independent, family-owned business.
Welcome back. It is time for the post-game report here on 98.1 KUSN. The Red Ravens notched their double-digit win, their 10th of the year. They moved to 10-1 after another top 10 nationally ranked matchup win tonight over the Barton Community College Cougars. They win it in style by 33 points. It's 90-57. 0 lead changes. They had complete control of this ball game, as we're joined over here on the sidelines with the head coach of the ball club, Jay Herkelman. As I'll tell you what, Coach Herkett, defensively, you know, you've been good all year long. You look at this team, they shoot over 50% from the three-point line, from the field, from everywhere, basically. And you think they're a shooting first team tonight? I'll tell you what, that was one of the best defensive games I've seen played.
Yeah, these guys came in, and we told our guys it was the most skilled team that we had played. in that they had a bunch of guys that can shoot it, handle it, attack you. They're just really versatile, and they're second in the region in three-point percentage behind us. They shoot it at a high level out there, and the first half we really defended it well. They go 0 for 13 now. I mean, they missed some, but we guarded it well, and then for the game they're 3 for 23. The guys are guarding, and I got a little upset with the second group in the second half because when they went in there, they just didn't get anything going on the offensive end, but they guarded all right, but they only had 1 point in about 6 minutes, and I thought at that point that's where we could have just taken the will away from Barton, and we didn't do it. And I thought at that point, still 10 minutes to go in the game, that they got it to 18. And a team that shoots it like they do, they were still in the ball game.
Oh, yeah. You can never really rule them out with that. Now, we'll kind of go off of that tangent as well, because in the second half, there was a lot of times, a lot of areas where really, there was a foolish mistake, whether it was traveling or whether it was a foul, or, there was just a lot of areas where it just seemed like they fell flat-footed. Mm-hmm. And you can't do that. Regardless if you're up by 20, you're going to be playing teams like Hutch would be, or like Barton would be, or other teams that do have the ability to put a quick 15 points on you. What are some ways, or what's the message to the guys in the locker room as we head into it here to keep energized? You got to keep it up out there.
Well, I mean, we still won 90-57.
Yeah, no doubt against the deficit.
Against the number 9 team in the nation that was undefeated coming in here. It's just at times, guys want to get in there and they press a little bit too much as far as wanting to do things right away on the offensive end. And, they got to just trust it. We talk about the next one to a great one, and we got a lot of guys that can score the ball. And if we just move the ball, we're so hard to guard, and they just got to trust it. When they're doing that, I mean, there's not a lot of teams out there that are going to be able to stay with us because we have so many weapons and we guard. Yeah, we got to do that. We got to do that all the time. That's why I was upset with that second group. I thought they were a little bit not selfish, but they weren't moving the ball like we needed to be.
I'm trying to find things for you guys to talk about in that locker room, but other than that, defensively, offensively, guys played stellar, up over 50% from the floor, 66% from the three-point land. It looked great. So we'll end on a high note here. I'll tell you what, it wasn't Casey Benton. Marvin Johnson was the leading scorer, but tonight I think the most impressive two, Tevin Brewer, first of all, coming off of a Week 5 player of the week with 30 points, but 8 assists. He did a great job distributing the ball tonight, and then not only that, but Tony Hudson looks good from three-point land as well. Both of those guys, those two, actually Brewer a sophomore, but freshman in Hudson, new guys to the Red Ravens roster. What a good pickup in the offseason.
Well, those two guys are both over 50% from three, and they can really get it going like they showed in the first half. Tony got in there, he was 4 for 5 from three, and Tevin, the last 2 games he was 12 for 15. Against Hutch, he goes 5 for 5. We go out to Northwest Tech. He hits his first 5 out there and goes 7 for 10 for the day. And, today he shoots a good percentage. Again, didn't shoot as many. So, and then Tony picked it up. So, there's different games where Quan makes, and we got to get Casey Benton going again. Casey's one of our better guards, but he's just struggling right now. He's going to play better. We need him to play better. But, yeah, we got some guys that can shoot it.
Well, we go week in, week out. We've got a couple of days break. Then we play back on Saturday. We'll have more on that game as we come out of the break. We head to Pratt Community College. But tonight, Coach Herrick, I'll tell you what, good game, good win, and congratulations, and you have a good rest of your week.
Okay, thanks.
All right, again, we'll take a quick 30-second aside. When we come back, Matt, Dick, and I will wrap things up here from Jay Herkelman Court at Nellis Hall. Again, CCC gets the win tonight. Back in 30 seconds.
You've been listening to
Keep It Simple with great